What is good, cluttered people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam, exposing the whole goddamn industry, including YouTube, who has been blackballing me ever since I started this channel. I mean, why don't I got 1 million subs yet? Susan, the CEO of YouTube, if you're listening to this, I'm about to bang your daughter, so you better click that sub button. Or maybe that didn't help because she'll just blackball me even further. Not before I put these black balls in her mouth. Psych, I'm white. But in related news, in today's video, we're gonna be discussing 6ix9ine being blackballed, as well as just exposing the whole industry. I don't want to be that guy because I'm not necessarily a supporter of 6ix9ine, as y'all have probably already seen from my previous videos, in that I'm just trolling him for, you know, not having the greatest of sales, especially after saying that he was gonna outsell Uzi.
Listen, if I sell more than Uzi, you delete your Instagram. That's 425.
But I want to be as objective as possible here, in that, you know, maybe this scenario, he is kind of pinned against the wall, and that is why his first week sales are abysmal. So without further ado, 6ix9ine exposes the industry, Blackballed, Trippie Redd, everyone in between. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I just want to address a few things. I don't have the face cam on in this video just because it gets exhausting out there on camera, especially when I got to put on makeup. That's a joke. I don't put on makeup. I don't know who's commenting, asking me what type of makeup I use, but I definitely do not wear makeup on those. It's probably just great lighting and a great camera, because I did spend a good amount of money on that camera. But aside from that, also there's a lot to talk about in this video, and going back to the always is a little bit easier for me. But anyway, to get right into it, 6ix9ine was interviewed on the Logan Paul podcast called Impaulsive, where he pretty much exposes everyone from Trippie Redd to the whole industry, as I mentioned in the intro. So firstly, we'll discuss Trippie Redd, in which he disses him, saying he's a flop and that nobody really cares about him, taking multiple shots at him, saying that his last hit was in 2018, which may or may not be true technically by the numbers. But he exposes Trippie Redd somewhat by the fact that the reason that Pegasus has not dropped and it's been delayed for so long, as all the Trippie Redd fans know, is that he hasn't had a hot song to, you know, lead as the single to increase the first week sales, and he doesn't look like a flop on the charts, like the exclamation mark album that only sold like 50K or so. However, Trippie Redd is about to drop a new music video tonight, and probably Pegasus soon too, because Excitement has just hit the top 50 on Apple Music due to the song trending on TikTok, and the album already leaked, so Trippie Redd and the label might as well just drop the whole album. But something I don't agree with regarding 6ix9ine's comments on Trippie Redd is that he claimed that he's not addressing Trippie Redd because Trippie Redd simply isn't big enough and he doesn't care. But what I really think 6ix9ine is intending to do is bait him even further in a very indirect way by dissing Trippie Redd and saying that he's not, you know, big enough to even beef with 6ix9ine anymore, when Trippie Redd is in fact the one who hasn't been addressing 6ix9ine to not allow him to use him for increasing exposure on his album and music videos that he already released in past weeks. So if 6ix9ine is doing this on purpose, he's a genius. If not, he's a dumbass, but it's still working, so the ends justify the means. As for Blueface, he just calls him a little boy from 15K sales, because no matter what, even if 6ix9ine ends up selling 35K like at one point he was expected, he still is selling way more than Blueface. But on to Lil Durk. This is where 6ix9ine starts to address the blackballing of the industry, where he starts by saying Lil Durk and 6ix9ine both dropped music on the same day when 6ix9ine got out of jail, wherein 6ix9ine dropped Gooba, I believe, like the whole music video, along with going live and breaking the record of 2 million Instagram live viewers, and then dropped a music video at the same time as Lil Durk dropped Just Cause Y'all Waited 2, which ended up selling 57K first week. Now 6ix9ine brought up the fact that Lil Durk was pretty much reposted by the whole industry, in the sense that all the other rappers were supporting him, like Meek Mill, Future, Young Thug, all the pretty much Atlanta rappers and real rappers, actually pretty much everyone, just because it's not cool to like 6ix9ine. Yet still 6ix9ine at this point, according to the latest chart data, is still going to outsell Just Cause Y'all Waited 2 with 57K records, while 6ix9ine is expected to sell 65K at this point. But up until this point in the interview, 6ix9ine was still only getting blackballed by simply just other rappers, which really doesn't count for that much. However, then he continues to talk about DSPs, which are pretty much the major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and all that, wherein they're pretty much not promoting any of his new music on their editorial playlist or even their algorithmic ones like New Music Friday due to snitching. But then he brings up the fact that these platforms are still promoting R. Kelly, XXXTentacion, Michael Jackson, and Tupac, who also have very similar charges or allegations on their head. I'm not justifying 6ix9ine whatsoever. I can't say that enough. I'm not a fan of 6ix9ine. I don't mess with his music, but I'm just trying to be objective here. But it is kind of contradictory that all of the DSPs would go against 6ix9ine due to his allegations of being a snitch, whereas they are still promoting the others. Because if y'all recall, Spotify did go against XXXTentacion for a while, not putting him on any editorial playlist because they don't want to promote domestic violence, which XXXTentacion was accused of at one point in his career. But then they ended up switching back to promoting XXXTentacion because they still were just allegations and he was never convicted. I do believe Tupac was convicted at one point, but then again, he isn't alive right now, so it's a much different scenario than 6ix9ine. So I'll give it to the DSPs in blackballing 6ix9ine. They can pretty much promote whoever they want because they are private corporations. Something that was very fishy that was done by Billboard that 6ix9ine mentioned in this same Impaulsive interview was that if what 6ix9ine is saying about the album sales and the merch bundles is true, then Billboard is definitely cheating him out of a lot of album sales. For if you recall, at the beginning 6ix9ine was expected to sell 150k first week, and then the next day when all of his merch bundles were disqualified, he was down to 50k expected first week. So that means that 100k of those expected sales at one point were all from merch bundles from the Gooba, Trolls, Yaya, and whatever music videos he dropped prior to the album release that were going to count for album sales, just like every other artist does, in which Billboard claims that they're not counting merch bundles in the same way. However, what Billboard did announce a while back was that they were changing the rules on October 9th, and today is only September 10th, so this week should still count under the old rules of the Billboard calculations with merch bundles. So again, if what 6ix9ine says is true, because he very well may be lying and know a lot more information than we do, or even just not follow the rules to a T with the merch bundles, but I would really doubt that considering he's under the 10K Projects label who knows how to do all of that. He is getting cheated out of at least 100k merch bundles, which leads us to the last point in the video, in which the Billboard calculations entail 3 components, including streams, radio airplay, and sales, whereby he was pretty much just cheated out of sales because the sales are merch bundles wherein people buy merch, and then that comes with a downloadable album. Because nobody really buys albums anymore, that will go away soon, but still up until this point every other artist had access to this component of the Billboard calculations, so that already takes out 1/3 of Billboard. Now secondly, 6ix9ine is also pretty much confirmed to be blackballed from radio airplay, and again that is up to the radio stations because they can choose who they want to play and who they don't want to play, whereas the Billboard not counting the merch bundles is kind of fishy, but again we don't know all the information. So that's 2 out of the 3 components already pretty much blackballed out of the whole Billboard calculation for 6ix9ine as to why he may perform very abysmal on Tuesday when the numbers are announced for Tattletale sales. And thirdly, streams, which we already went over a little bit with the DSPs who aren't necessarily blackballing him from, you know, uploading his music on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the major streaming platforms. However, he is blackballed from all the editorial playlists in which Rap Caviar accrues artists millions and millions of plays, wherein if an artist label pretty much pays Rap Caviar to be the first song on the playlist, they can already pretty much guarantee a certain ranking on the Hot 100 Billboard. That's just a simple fact. Therefore, with that supply of editorial playlists, and it goes to like emo rap, and there's hella Spotify playlists and Apple Music playlists that he's been blackballed from, cutting him off from millions upon millions, maybe even tens of hundreds of millions of streams that he's not gaining, whereas say Big Sean or all of the other competing artists this week or in future weeks are getting the benefit of. So the question remains, is 6ix9ine being blackballed from the industry? Yes, I'm pretty sure most of you would agree that that's a fact. However, another question that stems from this is it justified? And I think that's up to every single platform independently, in that they can promote whatever they want because they're private organizations. It's not like the government where they can't be prejudiced against certain views or biased against snitching or whatever. And so with this information, I think the only way for 6ix9ine to be unblackballed is if he stops acting all crazy on the internet and kind of like apologizes, because up until this point he pretty much has owned the whole snitching thing and made fun of it and trolled every single rapper and continued to beef with rappers even though he's got the feds watching his every move. So if a rapper even touches him, they already know who did it. Nonetheless, and I know I'm gonna again I'll probably get blackballed from the rap industry as well. 65K, if that's what ends up happening on Tuesday when we receive all the numbers, while being blackballed from over 2/3 of the Billboard calculation, is actually pretty crazy when you think about it. So props to 6ix9ine. And again, I know I trolled 6ix9ine a little bit in previous videos, but I just got to be objective here. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off. Probably losing hella subscribers just like my last Travis Scott fans or cringe video, but it's alright. I'm making this video for my own integrity. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on 6ix9ine being blackballed and exposing the industry. Do you think he's being blackballed? Do you think he's justified? Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip-hop news, drama, and analysis videos, as well as to follow me on all my socials in the description and join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, cut it, people. Know what I'm saying?